Right. Just gotta share this out. Tweet. Done. Done tweeting. Wait for some fools to come in.
Check.
What's up? What's up?
How are you, man?
I am not hearing you. Is that a fuck up on my end or something?
I don't know. Check one. Let me check my settings. Let's see. Audio.
I'm not used to this system.
1 2 1 2. I think you're having audio.
People are watching me booming their shit out of this.
No.
No sound?
No, you're good. You have sound. Yes.
You're hearing me? I'm not hearing you.
It's probably something with your headphones.
People in the chat hearing me? You can hear us both.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I'm not seeing any live comments.
Man, I'm gonna have to edit the shit out of this.
It's all good. Hold on a second. I think it.
Whatever you're saying, you're gonna have to type into the little chat thing over there.
I'm gonna do it right here.
Because I
think it's
fucking this
your
up real bad. Go. Settings. Let's try audio.
So anyway, while he's figuring all that stuff out, I hope you guys are doing awesome. I'm really excited for this Stephen Platt extravaganza. In fact, I want to show you guys how very excited I am. I'm going to, let's see if you guys can see this stuff behind me.
Oh, motherfucker. Is it my shit?
It's yours, man. It's your computer. Because I just sent him a Twitter video showing him my posters. Look at this. Look at Prophet 5, the Wizard poster. We got Prophet number 4, colored by Andrei Kromov. How fucking awesome is that? What up, Ted, Ryan, Steve? How are you guys? While Donald figures out his stuff, we can talk shop. That piece he's got up there on his computer is from the back of Black Flag number 0. What a cool piece that is. I wish I still had it. What up, Shinto? How are you, man? Shinto Ketchup. I don't even know what that means, but I like the name. Oh, you working your settings out, broskies? There we go. Is it working for you?
Let me try to fix this fucking thing. God damn.
Bibbidi bobbidi, nobody stopping me. Property. He's getting it working. Yeah. Oh, I got a song for you. His dad calls, yeah, he max it. He puts it in his pocket. Yo, then he jacks it. Yo, people, they don't find attractive. Why? Puts it in his pocket and he jacks it. Oh, slamming and jamming and jamming and jamming and oh, step to the man and then you get blown away by my rapping. What up, Vault? I'm just sitting here rapping and stuff. Let me write. Let's see. Let's check. He's checking his stuff. Check your comp sound. Every day is a new hell. EVS on streaming. Grab yourself a handlebar or grab that shit like a beaming BMW. Things are good, Vault. Things are fantastic. I finished up the most insane double pager I've ever drawn in my entire life last night. It went off to get inked and colored, and it's going to be ready for the campaign on Saturday. I've been spending today building the campaign, which has been a lot of fun. It's the first campaign I've ever built, and I'm learning the ins and outs of Indiegogo and setting things up so things will go good. What up, J Money? J Money's in the house. Yeah, you know he is. Popping on them bottles. Yeah, hear the fizz. Hear the fizz. Yeah, you're hearing it so clear. Because that fucking fizz be coming from my beer. Yeah, I will not ask for you to show us. Ha ha ha. Subtle. I'm going to be putting it in my emailer tomorrow. You guys will see it in the emailer. And it is super sweet. It took 2.5 days, and I would say 2.5 days is considerably fast when you take a look at the madness. Let me see. I'm going to pull it up on my phone, so you guys can see what it looks like. And I'll make it like super small, so you won't even get to see it like big time. See it. It'll just look like gray to you, right? Let's see if you can see this. This is a double page spread. You guys are seeing it for the first time here on his thing. There you go. That's all you're seeing. It doesn't look that good, does it? Because it's there we go. Look at that. See that? Out of focus and everything. You're gonna see that in focus. Perfect focus when you sign up to my newsletter on Indiegogo, because I've been giving free shit away, like pencils. You get to see the pencils to this stuff. You get a PDF of Black Flag 12340, and you get my mixtape from back in the day. What up, man in Ludacy? How are you, man? Thank you, Eric. Hopefully Donald is getting his stuff figured out, because it feels weird being the only person here. It says analyzing Stephen Platt. We're going to analyze his work. I've actually known Stephen for a very, very long time. He says he's going to have to restart his shit. So that's cool. I guess I'll be in here. It's not even my stream, but I'm here. I can't even pilot stuff. What up, William Forbes? So hopefully his computer will work when it starts up. Pineapple Perception. Yeah, over here on my spinner rack, I've got like a whole Stephen Platt pile. I got a whole Stephen Platt pile of stuff here. Check this out. You guys remember this? That's where the world was introduced. Can you hear stuff now, Donald?
Yeah, man. I am so sorry, everyone. I have no fucking idea what was going on. Like, I was watching YouTube and listening to YouTube, and I could hear it just fine.
Yeah.
And I even tested my fucking microphone before I came on to make sure that it wasn't all robot-y, because that happens to me sometimes. So I test it now before I start using it.
So you've had the robot problem too?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not just my mic. I've only had it with StreamYard. You know what they say about a man's plans?
They can turn to shit.
Nothing makes the spirits laugh like a man's plans.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Don't expect anything. What up, Mr. Malin? I want to show Coach. He'd be proud. He'd be proud of my studio. Look at this back here. Poster of the cover number 4.
Let me
poster cover number 5.
Ooh.
There I am in my bald head. Hey. There we go. Right back up here is the cover, the wizard poster where you had to count all the bullet shells. So yeah, man, I got crazy love for Mr. Splat. In fact, I talked with him a little bit last night, which was good. I got to see some sneak peeks of some things he's working on. Wonderful stuff. And no, I can't show it. I'm sworn. Can't.
Introduce me to Stephen Platt so I can be his best friend.
Yeah. And some of the stuff I have that I'm not allowed to show, I showed it in one of my streams, and then I took my stream down explicitly because I'm not supposed to show it. but I have the sample pages that he had. So here's the story of Stephen Platt and how he got to become a comic book artist. Back in 1993, Extreme Studios was having a tour, and we stopped by Jim Hanley's universe in 1993 January to do a signing, and this dude named Stephen Platt was on his way to bring his samples to the signing to try to get a job at Extreme, and he stopped at the bank on the way, and the guy in front of him at the bank had a Marvel Comics jacket on. And Steven said, "Cool jacket." And the guy said, "Yeah, I work for Marvel." And he said, "Oh, you do? Let me show you my work." The guy said, "Yo, this is awesome. Why do you have it with you?" He's like, "I'm going to go to this signing and show my work." He's like, "Don't bother. You're going to work for Marvel." So he brought him to Marvel, did some Moon Knight samples for a Marvel Comics Presents. Then he did Moon Knight 55, and the rest is history. But the samples that he had in his portfolio that day were some Punisher Wolverine samples, and those aren't the ones I'm not allowed to show those, but I can show some I can show them to you on the undercover, bro. But you have to like sign a thing where you give away your pinky or something.
I will sign away my children to see those.
Dude, they're I'm not gonna knock my man Steven, but this is the general consensus, and you guys are welcome to disagree. But I feel like the earlier the better. And that's not saying he's getting worse. He's actually, as an artist is concerned, like fundamentally more correct. You know, things are lining up to align with reality. He's getting better each and every time he does something. That said, his funk, all the stuff that I love about his work is the earlier you go, the better, the more I like it. So those sample pages are some of my favorite. The cover, this cover here, a Moon Knight 55, this bad boy, dude, that's what I mean, I want to mainline this shit. I want whatever it is that you can do to inject all of these in you. This is where it's at. Sorry, I've been talking way too much, man. Go.
No, you're good. This is what I want. I want like shit about Stephen Platt. You know him personally. You came up with him in the studio. You know, you're talking about. You told me that you got to see him do some of those Moon Knight pages.
Yeah. So this is what happened when Rob approached him. As soon as he saw Moon Knight 55, he's like, "We got to find this guy." I happened to do a comic convention up in Toronto. I reached out to him and ended up hanging out with him most of the time. And I got to go over to his place. I watched him work on, I forget the cover, number of the cover, but it's got the moon behind it and this big sort of round, this round bit, and Moon Knight standing there with a staff, and down below some other action. But I watched him work on that at his house in Toronto. But I was basically, back in the old studio days, I was kind of the ambassador guy. I would find guys, like I found Chap Yape, I found Todd Knock, I found Pat Lee, I found Larry Stucker. These are all guys that when I go to shows, I'd see their work and I'd bring them back to Rob. So Steve was one of those guys where I was like, I knew Rob would be really happy that I found him. So I acted sort of as the liaison in between. I have a bunch of, and again, this is all stuff I can show you later, but I have a bunch of his sketchbook pages. And it's funny because in one of his sketchbook pages is my name and my phone number that I used to have back in the day. So it's like it goes that far back. Crazy.
So you're responsible for my addiction.
Perhaps.
I was all over Extreme, man. I wanted to work in that studio so bad. I saw all these guys
ups and
coming
downs,
in.
man. Ups and downs. You know, the thing that was awesome about watching Steven work is like when he started off, he was using Pigma microns, like all that the Prophet 4 cover, all of Prophet 5. He pretty much inked that whole thing with Pigma microns, you know, the little markers.
Really?
Yeah. But the problem is he's a little slow, right? Like,
I can imagine. I mean, you can just
see why.
Looking at this Black Flag picture that he did, you can see all the detail that he puts in.
Yeah. So, and I know that one of the things that we need as comic book artists is a thing called butt power, right? At least that's what I've heard it called. And when I've talked to Todd McFarlane about stuff, he says, I've never met an artist who's slow. And it's true. Once we sit down and go to it, we get a lot done. It's just the sitting down and going to it. And I know from my own experience, especially working on that double pager that I showed your audience while you were gone, you look at it and you go, oh, fuck, I know I have another 10 hours, right? And 10 hours of hardcore. And you go, maybe I'll get up, and you get distracted. At least this is what it was like when we were younger. Now, the responsibility kicks in and I don't have that problem. But Steve would the weird thing is he would have all these scraps of paper and margins of his pages that he would constantly fill with doodles. So it wasn't that he ever stopped drawing. It was that I think every now and then you'd be presented with how much work is in front of you, and you kind of step away and doodle or go, play some
get into Nerf gun fights.
Yeah, or play Tekken. But
I've seen those videos. I've seen the video, Fraga. I saw the RCA camcorder on the shoulder video on YouTube of y'all getting into Nerf gun fights and shit.
That was on my channel. That was our 1993 San Diego Comic-Con promo video. And also it had like some weird Black Flag interview on it. I'm like 20 years old. I want to slap myself, you go, God, but that's how it is. But, you got that gorgeous Black Flag Zero, man. Hold on a second. Let me grab it in color.
Yeah, this is a dope image. It was inked by Jonathan Sybil.
So this is it in color, right? Like, how cool is that? And I know the guy who owns it. He gave me a pretty good scan of it. A guy named Larry Gravitt. Larry has he has things like I see Michael Green up in your chat, and Michael Green's favorite cover from Black Flag is number 3, and Larry Gravitt has that. Larry has this. There's another Larry named no, it was Jim. Sorry, not Larry, Jim. They're totally the same name. But Jim has the McFarlane cover, but this one is one I definitely miss. I'll probably end up having it recolored or get Andre, the guy who colored the cover number 4, to color it up. I'm not sure.
This was sold for $400. Damn, somebody robbed you.
Yeah, that's how it be.
I know people want me to zoom in, but this is a 200 DPI. This is the highest resolution I could find on this piece.
Yeah.
So it's going to get a little pixelated, but
that's okay. I mean, you can, if you full size your screen, like if you full size, like if you just made your screen big, it helps a little bit, But yeah, and I really enjoyed what he did. A lot of people don't know this about the gorilla character, but the madder he gets, the bigger he gets, kind of like the Hulk. And that's why his scale is so big there, because he was mad at something.
I thought Steven was just like saying, this is a badass. And the purple on the cover that you showed, that really pops him out.
Yeah.
Really makes him come at you.
Yeah, he did his thing, and
this is my favorite part of this whole image.
Oh, the boom? Yeah.
The rocket or the bomb.
Yeah.
Just so cool looking.
Yeah, it's like 4 times as big as as Bubble, the little girl sitting on him. William Forbes asked, why did you stop drawing Black Flag? Are you talking about back in 95? It's because Rob wanted me to do a book called The Berserkers. And that's he basically asked me to stop working on Black Flag to start working on Berserkers. That was a good question. I saw a question earlier on asking about was Punisher an influence for Black Flag? Yeah. I've talked about it a bunch on my streams, but for me, when I create stuff, and sidebar, like when I worked on Kid Supreme was not my creation. All the villains in Kid Supreme were mine, but Rob gave me sort of carte blanche to do it. And basically, when I do my own creations, or I have the piloting of ships, I basically make things that I want to work on. So like Kid Supreme was basically my idea of doing Spider-Man, and then Black Flag is all the characters I've ever wanted to draw on one team, and they're just Fraga boomized. It's like the Gorilla is like the Hulk and Beast, Raiden's like Doctor Strange, Sniper's like Captain America meets the Punisher, Geisha's every hot anime girl you've ever seen, Rascal's like my Spider-Man Nightcrawler. These are all just things. And also I like the X Babies. I like the way Art Adams drew the X Babies. That's why I ended up putting kids in there, because I had a good time drawing kids. So when I came up with Black Flag, it was really just like doing like a potpourri, like when you go to a all-you-can-eat buffet, and I'm like, a little of this, a little of this, a little of this, pour the Mountain Dew and titty milk on it and mix it up. And then this is where it's at. But we're talking about Stephen Platt, man. I keep sidebarring. I'm just excited. Okay. I'm really excited about my launch, man. 4 days.
Yeah, 4 days now. Friday.
Yeah, Saturday. Well, Saturday's the launch day, so I can't believe it.
Today's Tuesday. That's right.
Yeah, I know, it's weird, right? Like I thought today was Monday. My wife's like, "Oh, yesterday's mail is right there." I'm like, "No, that was Sunday." She's like, "No, it's Tuesday already." Okay.
I think I would remember because we just had tacos, and I was just talking about Taco Tuesday on Twitter.
Tacos.
But, awesome. This thing right here, man. This stuff, I still try to do all this stuff, and I fail.
Oh man, we could talk about it. I was thinking about doing some drawing streams where I get a bunch of us drawy people, like get like Malin and you and just go in here and just talk techniques, right? Like I can say my weaknesses. I look at somebody like, "What up, Dad?
What up, y'all?
So, man,
how's it going,
my man here." But like for example, I just started checking out Sean Gordon Murphy's White Knight, and blown away at his line economy and his use of no tan, which is the balance between light and dark. So that's something that I could use tons of advisement on. If somebody wanted to be like, "Yo, here's what the philosophy," that rock stuff, show that debris stuff. I can do that stuff with my eyes closed, and I can teach you. It's a lot of fun, But I think like if we did a draw stream where we're like, "Here's a technique," and you go, "Thank you, sensei," and I go, "You be sensei," you show me a technique. You know what I mean? Like we're only going to get better because of that. What you drinking? Is that a Corona?
No, this is a Land Shark.
Land Shark.
Yeah, he's not drinking Corona. He has Corona because he's not quarantining himself.
Hey, he was helping out. He was helping out his grandma, man. You gotta love that.
Oh yeah. It's ever since this whole thing jumped off, everybody's like, "Oh, I have so much time at home." I'm like, I'm spending more time over at my mom's house, like completing every single little project she's had on the back burner for like the last 3 years.
Yeah.
That's
they give you the honeydews, man. That's how it's like.
But it's stuff that needs to be done, so we're getting it done. But I'm so damn tired.
I believe it. Man in Ludacy is talking about. Someone asked why Platt stopped drawing comics, and then that was the question. You could say money, but I did the same thing. Right? You get offered. As an artist, what you want to do is you constantly want to challenge yourself, and you want to constantly be leveling up. We learned that shit from video games. If every level was the same level, you'd put the game down and peace out. So you want to level up. You want to get achievements. You want to get better and work harder. So the next step for somebody that draws sequential art is either concept art or storyboards, and that's exactly where Steven went. He went. A lot of people don't know it, but he storyboarded a lot of music videos. I think one of his first one was a George Michael video, and he did a lot of the designs in it too. I forget the name of it, but it's George Michael in a Stephen Platt world. Like he's got all this armor on, and it's like this futuristic thing. It was directed by Joseph Kahn. I fucking forget the name of the video though. Pardon my French if your kids can hear me. But then he went on. You know
We're
that
family friendly channel.
I'm sure everybody here has seen Iron Man 1. You guys have seen Iron Man 1? You know the one where he turns and he shoots the thing and he starts walking towards camera and the explosion behind him?
Where he does the badass walk away from the explosion
Yeah.
thing? Yeah,
Stephen
totally.
Platt storyboarded that.
I've seen those boards.
Yeah, that's Stephen Platt. So he left comics to go work in film, which is the same thing I did, you know. When I'm not drawing comics, I'm storyboarding or directing, and it's just a progression.
Well, one skill naturally lends itself to the other. I mean, you're essentially storyboarding things when you're doing a comic. It's just with storyboards, you have to do, each frame so they see exactly what happens.
Sure, but there's huge differences. That's the weird thing is, and I didn't going from comics to storyboards was easier than going back into comics. When I jumped onto He-Man, I had forgotten all kinds of things, like the understanding of the graphic balance of the two-dimensional page, the staging that, naturally read from left to right. So you stage your characters in a way that in talking order.
Right.
There goes I'm getting the swirly. There I am. I am.
You're robot voicing a little bit.
Am I?
Just a little bit.
I am a robot.
At least this time the screw up isn't on my end.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is my first time using
just this time though.
Just this time, yeah. I actually just upgraded my router and the coaxial cable that connected to it. I had like a really old cable and it was unshielded. So every time I'd use the microwave, my internet would screw up. So got a new coaxial cable and a new Netgear Nighthawk router. Oh my God, my internet is so fast now, it's retarded.
That's awesome.
It's wonderful. Oh yeah.
Every time I use my microwave, my bum knee acts up.
You have a metal plate in your knee?
No, I've got a metal bowl. I use it for salads and shit.
Maybe don't put that in the microwave.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
If you do, film it so we can all see what happens.
Yeah. So there's that Black Flag piece is pretty awesome. One of the things that I find that kind of bums me out a little bit about some of his early stuff is that I feel like you look at his cover, like Moon Knight 55, you look at that cover and you're like, dude, I need a whole comic book filled with this. And but then you look and look at the inks, the colors, everything's crisp and clean. Then you get inside and you get like this shit, right? And it's colored horribly. And it's inked.
Oh God, yeah.
It's inked without an understanding of what's happening. That bums me out a little bit, but every time I see black and whites of this stuff, it makes me happy because the color, I think, is what butchered it up the most. Look at that.
His work is so much better in black and white. And not to knock the guys that were coloring at Extreme at the time, or even Liquid, who colored him later on Soul Saga, but man, they definitely did not mesh.
There's two guys I loved on Steven's stuff. It was Don Skinner and Andre Kromoff, and Andre colored the cover of the variant cover of Prophet #4. He also did a lot of the interior pages, a lot of the classic pages. Don colored the cover of Prophet 5.
Look at that fucking moon.
I know that moon's great, but it's Todd inspired, and this is what this is what happened to Steven's work. When he started off, he was very influenced by a guy named Libertori. I don't know if you guys know Libertori's work. If you look up Rangzerax, it's a European comic, and all of the musculature in Rangzerax is drawn like that. It's like looks like that. It's like look up Rangzerax. Look up it's Ranxerox, Rangzerax. And you look up Libertori's work. You look at old Sam Keith and McFarlane. That's who he was into. But then right around the end of Moon Knight, he discovered Whilce Portacio's work on X-Men and X-Factor and the way he was doing cross-hatching, and Steven's work suddenly changed. And you can see in Prophet 5, he started to adopt this sort of double lighting where you had a top light and a low bottom light. So all of his stuff had this, you can see it, this sort of double lighting. And then as he kept moving on and on and on, he started adjusting more. There's the Prophet. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
He started adjusting more and more towards realism. But like I said in the beginning of the stream, it's his sort of more flexed, non-realistic stuff that I dig.
Yeah, this is. Yeah. You can see a little bit of the underlighting that he's the bounce lighting that he's doing on this.
Yeah,
like he was playing around with it there, but he didn't. It didn't seem like he fully understood it.
Yeah,
but this, I still construct my elbows like and my arms like that.
Yeah,
I still can do that. I'm like, I want this big oval here and put some squigglies in it. I still do that shit.
Yeah,
I love this moon, man. I just love how huge it is in this fucking picture. The cities are flooded because it's super close to the planet.
Yeah. He used that moon a couple times. Like he put that moon, the cover you were talking about earlier, that I watched him work on. He put a big moon there. Moons are fun, especially if you do them like that. You know, the two best moon artists out there are McFarlane and Whilce Portacio. Whilce Portacio did a moon in Wetworks that is like unbelievable. Like the lunar crater detail put Todd to shame. Todd's was more of a glowing moon, where Whilce's was like you can really sense the craters.
Yeah, that's a great unifying design element on this cover.
Circles are great, man. Circles are great, and when you can add texture and dimensionality to it, and there's always that romance with the moon. You put a moon in any photograph, suddenly it elevates it. You put a moon in these sort of drawings, and you use that circle as a design element, it's gonna make it sing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, and it works with the curves of the musculature and the cape. It adds to the motion. The cape kind of takes you from the corner into Moon Knight, and then the moon takes you up towards Spider-Man and up to the title.
You guys talk for a second. I'm gonna try to find some of these unpublished pages, not the Wolverine Punisher stuff. I can show you guys that offline, but I told Steven I would never show that stuff publicly. So hold on a second.
He must be really embarrassed by it.
I mean, it's Stephen Platt. How could he be embarrassed? I mean, I guess we all got to start somewhere, but damn.
Yeah.
Now, on this particular piece right here, does it look like Spider-Man's kind of got his shoulders hunched up? Or, like his shoulders are like right around his ears. It looks like
he's shrugging as he's doing this.
Okay, yeah.
In midair. He's like, I don't know.
I'm just swinging along, Yeah, okay.
I don't know what's happening.
Or like his neck just got pulled like right into his shoulders.
But I call that a Plattism, because he does that a lot when he has his characters hunched like that in anything. Let me see if I can find that over here. He brings his shoulders real forward.
Well, it makes it imposing, like when you've got like those giant traps in the shoulders and whatnot, that adds to the imposing factor. So
it's like a gorilla puffing himself up.
Yeah.
All right. I could not find that Moon Knight Marvel Comics Presents yet, but I did find stuff that no one's ever seen. You want to full screen this?
Sure.
This is going to blow your guys' minds if you're a big Art Adams fan.
Oh.
This is unseen Art Adams stuff, so let's get ready. Go ahead.
Hold on. How do I pick you to go full screen?
Oh, I got to do share my screen. Or no. You just pick my face. Remember, you click on me, and there's like a little thing in like an icon that looks like a. You click on down. There we go. Here we go. Check this out.
Learning every day.
You see that?
What's this from?
Wow.
This is Art Adams. This is Art Adams' first printed work. It was in Alien Worlds 3D special, and it was never printed in black and white. It was only printed in 3D. But this was this is his original stuff. I have a treasure trove of stuff, guys. See all this? This is all like, look, Jim Lee's Punisher story with Nick Fury that was never printed. unfinished Jim Lee pages from Extinction Agenda,
Okay.
black and whites from those times, J. Scott Campbell pencils, Todd McFarlane black and whites. Let's see what else. But Eric Larson's pencils from The Punisher.
Jaw is literally in my lap. Hang on.
There's Mike Mignola's sketchbook.
Oh dang.
Yeah. Michael Golden unpublished Superman story.
You need to do a stream and just go over this for 12 hours.
Pencils to New Mutants 87. This is the whole book. The first appearance of Cable. This is the whole book in pencil form.
Holy cow.
Let me see. But I saw this one piece, and of course, my hands slipped by it. But it was one of the pieces that really influenced Stephen Platt, like a big one. And I flipped through it. And I was like, "Oh, grab that stack." Let me find it. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Is that all original art, or is it copies of the original art?
This is all photocopies, and most of them are first generation copies. Like I had my hands on the stuff at the time.
Because Mayfield Jukes is having an aneurysm that you're bending it. He's like, "Don't bend the original art."
Look at this. Those of you guys that are familiar with Jim Lee's Extinction Agenda, look at this. Half-finished page. This is what Jim Lee's pages look like as he's working on them. Isn't that cool?
That's amazing.
I'm trying to find that Wills thing, and then when you guys see it, you'll be like, "Oh, I see." Oh, check this out. This is a fucking classic. Anybody that's a big Jim Lee fan will recognize this. Look at this. Pencils to the Captain America scene.
Oh!
Yeah, anybody that ever comes over to my house will have a field day hanging out in this office.
That's the one that's got the Captain America cover that Rob used as a homage in Youngblood #1.
Si, senor.
Wow.
Let me find it. Come on, man. I hate that. I saw it. I flipped through it. It landed on it instantly, and then when I'm actually looking for it, it's like impossible. And then I think I know exactly where those other ones are. Oh, there's a good drawing.
Dude, those are all 11 by 17 photocopies, right?
These are all 8.5 by 11. I'm gonna go grab my 11 by 17s, but
I was going to say you could get a portfolio book and just slide them in there and just have that as a coffee table in your studio or something.
Sure. For sure, yeah. Let's see. There was some other stuff in here that was worth looking at. Oh yeah, the Jim Lee X-Men trading card set. These are all the copies of those.
I loved those cards.
Yeah. See, those are those. Come on, where's that Wills page? Damn it! It's like it's a picture of Apocalypse standing there, and you guys that are like hardcores like me will totally go, "Oh yeah, I know the one you're talking about." But it's Apocalypse standing there, full figure, and his legs are what'd you call it, Donald? Bounce lighting. There's that bounce lighting on Apocalypse's legs. And I remember when Steven saw it, we were in Toronto. When he saw it, he's like, "My God, man, that's what it's all about." And I can't disagree with him. It is. Yeah. It is.
King Elton is like the master of doing bounce lighting.
Yeah.
You look through Pit, you see light coming from like 3 different angles.
Yeah.
Have you seen some of Dale's like recent pencils, like the cover to like Hulk that he did? Just like he has just really stepped it up.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've seen his recent work. Yes.
Yeah, I'm with you, Donald. I'm with you, Donald. I enjoy his older stuff more.
But he's so good. Those pencils are so fucking tight.
That's what I mean. Those pencils are ridiculous.
Oh my God.
Like that Thanos, he posted a Thanos piece on Facebook like a few weeks back, and it was just the detail was just insane. You can blame,
but it's a pretty head.
That.
It's a beautiful head.
I'm still trying to find that fucking Wills thing. I know I have the comic, and I know where the comic is.
Fine, we're gonna go on and look at Stephen Platt.
Look at that. See, the color just butchered that thing.
Yeah, this is beautiful. I mean, you got the colorist ended up flattening out this entire section here. Just look how bubbly it is. Look how bubbly it is. This looks like he has a fucking tumor on his shoulder.
Yeah,
you know,
just a little bit.
It's so bubbly because he's got the bounce lighting coming onto it. On the shoulders here.
Dude, he was doing like shoulder lifts with like full kegs, man. That's how you get shoulders like that.
Yeah, well, this right here, this dude looks like he needs to go to see Dr. Pimple Popper. Get that.
I found the actual page. I found the actual page in the comic.
Let me get you back to full screen.
This is the one. This is the one when Steven saw it. He lost his, and he was still working on Moon Knight. And if you look at Moon Knight 60. You'll notice that he changed the way he rendered Moon Knight towards this. But this was one of those pieces that when he saw it, he lost his shit.
I can see that.
Yeah. But this is one of those ones that, like, you call it a pivotal piece. It's like I've got a few of those in mind. You know, I remember certain McFarlane things, like the cover of Spider-Man 5 kills me every single time I see it.
Which what's on this cover of Spider-Man 5? I can't picture it right now because 8 was with Wolverine, right?
I don't remember. I think 5 it was still part of the Torment saga.
Yeah, so it would have been Blizzard.
Where are we at? Oh. Hey, turn on my camera real quick just for a second.
At tumors again.
Turn on my camera just for a second. Okay, that's all you get.
Oh. Damn.
You fucking cock tease.
Wow.
You want to see McFarlane pencils?
Of course.
Those are a lot tighter than I thought.
Yeah.
Rob Liefeld actually was the one that inked this page.
Oh, that might be why they were tight.
Yeah. I got some Rob Liefeld pencils from the ancient days.
Oh, dude.
Look at that.
Look at that face.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fucking shadow going right down the front of the face.
You know, I'm always looking for that Wolverine Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. What If. I can't ever find it when I'm out in the shop.
I'll show you my least favorite artist. Well, at least back in the day. He's all right now.
Oh, God, that guy sucked.
Yeah, he's horrible. Oh, here's some more. This is some more Splat. I got some more first gen copies of Splat right here.
All that stippling you did on that little demon guy, that was pretty badass. I really love that.
Look at this. We got what's up, Malin?
Holy hell.
How's it going, guys?
Fuck you.
First generation copy from the original.
You have an 11 by 17.
Yeah, Dan, were those other ones 11 by 17?
No, those other ones
a high
were
res
8.5 by 11. You want to see some fucking crazy Splat?
Yeah.
Is it all Splat crazy? Oh, my God.
Look at that.
That's inked by Marlowe, isn't it?
Nah, this is Joe Weems.
Weems?
Yeah,
Weems
let me
is
see
a
if I can get
badass.
it. There you go.
Wow.
Send me high-res scans of those. I want to print them out on board and put them up on my fucking walls.
Nah, man, this is when we break quarantine. This is my my bait to get you guys to come over to my studio. You know,
You'll end up losing that.
it's like I don't
Done
need to see
and
Fraga,
done.
but I really need to see his shit. So it's my bait. My bait.
Some very attractive bait, my friend.
Yeah. Let's see. I got some more Art Adams pencils from Long Shot.
I hope you're wearing a mask, John. We don't
I'm
want to get
not.
thrown from you.
And I'm breaking quarantine daily.
Art Adams.
I broke quarantine today, too. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, let's go.
This has now just turned into a general. What's in Dan's folder screen?
I'm gonna grab I have a whole Splat pile. Like I said, I have a sketchbook. I've
And I'm
got
okay with that. This
I've
is
got-
dope art.
full-sized printouts of, like, this was from Prophet Volume 2, Number 1.
Oh, sweet.
So I've got
So,
that.
give us like an idea, man. Like, you were there when Splat came in when he was getting the Prophet job. Like, what was that like for him? What was his reaction?
Excited, man. I mean, he was super stoked. Because he went from Moon Knight, which was basically being canceled. He got hired on it when it was being canceled. When I first met him, he was working on I think it was number 56 or 58. I think it was 50. It wasn't 58 because that was a fill-in. But I met him when he was still in Canada, and brought him over. I just remember he was really stoked. He went from being in Toronto to California. These are his pencils.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like you go from a cold ass place like Toronto, Canada, and you get to move to sunny Southern California. I'm sure it's a big culture shock. Here's the one that I watched him draw. I watched him draw this at his house in Canada. This is the one that I saw. The one, see, there's moon.
Wow.
There's the moon. He's got the bad guy. My favorite part with those little smoldering incense things.
Yeah.
I thought those were so fucking cool. Here's a
tell a story.
First generation photocopy of that piece.
Damn.
So
was Platt smoking that herb?
He doesn't drink or smoke.
Even back then?
Interesting. Even back then. That was guys like me and some other fellas in the studio were more about the cheapery. Okay, so here is some pages from his actual sketchbook, right? So Stephen Platt's sketchbook from back in the day. Let's see what else I've got. Oh, you guys, are you guys wearing your white pants?
Always.
Check this shit out.
Oh,
cool.
That's badass. That's the book he should have been on Marvel.
Love that gun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Here is the layout for the cover of Prophet number 7.
Wow. And sometimes that preliminary stuff is even more fun to see.
Got a lot of energy into it.
There's another one. Another Prophet exploration sketch. Here's the one that I told you. It had my phone number. This is when he put my name and number in his sketchbook. But it was a picture of Kirby and Prophet.
Hopefully the number's not current.
No.
You guys are going to be getting some calls here.
Doxy.
Right.
Check this one out.
Wow.
That dude in the cowboy hat. That's
yeah.
I want a book with that guy.
And check this out, guys. Those of you familiar with Prophet number 5, where's the one he ended up going with, guys? This one.
Yeah, well, your pinky.
These are all the other variations of what he was thinking about for the cover, but this was the one that he went with right here.
Nice.
He also did other explorations like some Mobius type stuff, and when he was drawing the Viet Cong in the Prophet story. Here's another bit where he's really exploring Mobius, practicing different styles.
Yeah, definitely.
Conehead motherfucker.
Yeah. Anyway, that's some samplings. I'm not going to show you guys everything, but
did he have like when he was working on Prophet? After he kind of got settled in a little bit, like where was he wanting to go? Like what was he wanting to do in the near term that maybe he didn't get to do? Did he have?
He had his own
stuff.
book.
He
had his own property. It was this book called Double Tap.
Oh man!
But he never really fully explored it, and he never really got to execute it outside of a couple of short stories. But the thing that's crazy, and
I thought I had that.
The thing that's crazy is he was getting paid. I think he was getting paid the most out of everybody in the studio, but he was also incredibly slow, and it was frustrating for everybody. It was frustrating for Rob because he's paying him all this money, but not getting not getting he got what he paid for, but not getting it at the speed in which he wanted it to be done.
Right.
So
I can imagine that got a little annoying.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're paying him enough, but for the time that he's taking, the pay kind of gets whittled down in time, but also for the return that Rob would have been expecting over the period of a year, it's going to be half that.
It's way less than half that. It was like down to a third of it. Yeah.
Damn. Well, I mean, it takes a lot of time to put in that much detail.
It certainly does. You got to have that butt power, man. Eyeball, tickler. I choose Splat. Between Splat and Keown, if I could only pick one, I'd still pick Splat.
Oh yeah.
But Splat 1994 Splat.
Ooh, that's a hard one though. 1994 Splat and Pitt, Keown.
Yeah, I'd still pick Platt.
Oof.
Splat has a lot more energy.
Dale's stuff was always big, but he never, like, if you look at this page, all of that, the little dudes in there, when you're looking over, like right in the where Moon Knight's kicking and all those little guys, Dale would never do stuff like that. Dale's stuff was always medium shots. Whenever he went wide, his stuff got really simplified, and he was really good at big. But I felt like Steven was really good at big. He was good at graphic design, a lot of energy.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. I mean, this is like the sweet spot, man. It's just so good.
With Platt, it seems like every single panel, he treated it like it was the money shot.
Right, right. There's
just look at this fucking dude here. That
Right.
you could blow that up, and that could be a splash page. Like every panel looks like a splash page, and it's so.
We got to go into things like that. I mean, obviously, we don't want to make everything loud. We want quiet moments. Like I think of like dubstep, right? Like if everything was high intensity on dubstep, it would get pretty. You'd get something called ear fatigue, right? You just kind of like everything is loud and big, but it's always when it trickles down in the quiet moments, and then you get that drop. That's what ends up happening. And whoa, yeah.
This is the one. I don't know which issue this is from.
I think it's 56.
60.
Oh, that's 60. Okay. The colors on that are garbage, though.
Oh, God, yeah.
What's up, Gig of Death?
His entire Moon Knight run had shit colors for it.
Yeah.
Can you zoom in on that, Donald?
It's like, I just see gray.
Yeah, it's hard to make out. I see a hand.
Yeah.
It's not going to be that great because it's 72 DPI.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to go that far. I'm just trying to figure out what's what on it. So.
Oh, you're not going to make out shit unless you stare at it for a couple of hours. There's so much detail in here. I just fucking love all this bit, all this going on. I have no idea what it is.
It's energy, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of chaos and bodies right there. That's what's going on there.
They were all supposed to be like falling through a glass ceiling or something like that.
That works for me.
I think that might be the edge of like those round windows in churches or whatever.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But
it's funny. I showed Steven my Black Flag double pager last night. I know Donald and Luke saw it, and he said I was a madman, but he also said he doesn't miss doing double pagers, right? So I have a feeling that this stuff was torturous for him. You know what I mean?
He's so good at it. Why do you do so many of them then? You look at Soul Stalker when he had complete control, and he's like everything is a double page spread.
Right. Yeah. It's weird, man. It's weird. I was talking to Caesar, aka Uncle E, and I was saying to him, I said, it's kind of like fucked up that we get a little bit of a curse because the guys I'm into, McFarlane, Adams, Splat, Michael Golden, none of those styles can be done fast, Like if Mike Mignola was my favorite artist, I could probably draw 10 pages a day. You know what I mean? But instead it's like I have to put in a 12-hour day to do the kind of page I want to do, and there's no way to fake it, And that's why I was saying before you got here, John, I was saying it would be kind of cool to get like an artist share stream. Donald was saying like he would like to learn how to do those rocks like Splat does. And I'm saying I would like to learn line economy and adding more contrast and value to my stuff. And I feel like we could all make a stream about learning skills, swapping skills.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be interested in sitting down and seeing what I can pull from that. Absolutely.
Maybe somebody who's better at StreamYard can host that one.
What do you mean?
Not me.
I'm beginning to think StreamYard's an unruly beast.
I think. I mean, I'd be down for it. All we got to do really is do the share screens, and split them up and talk about it. Or each person gets like 15 minutes to talk about a technique. Like if I did 15 minutes on rocks and you did like, hey, let me do 15 minutes on whatever. Someone else could come in, like Malin could come in and do 15 minutes on something, and then have Luke come in and do 15 minutes on something, and that's an hour, and then we can close out with what did you learn today?
That would be awesome.
I like you guys remember? Well, I feel like I'm probably the oldest person in here. You guys remember Romper Room?
No.
Oh, the name.
Romper Room was a daily kids show that was a lot like a preschool, and Miss Nancy, who was the host, used to look through this mirror, but you could see her face, and she said, let's see who's out there, and she would just basically say random names. But it doesn't witchcraft, right? Yeah, I hex you totally. And you and you.
And little Tommy and Joey, I see you on the other side of this mirror.
Exactly.
I get you and your little dog, too.
Exactly. Matt Yackey's in the house. See, Matt Yackey remembers.
Yackey?
Oh.
Matt Yackey remembers. I got to find that. It's driving me nuts that particular Apocalypse page is eluding me. Oh, you guys want to see some titties drawn by Jim Lee? No, this is unpublished, never seen before Jim Lee. Look at
right.
Look at full screen that, guys.
Yeah, let me embiggen you.
This is Jim Lee in his prime.
Whoa.
This is a red Sonja drawn by Jim Lee in 1991.
And now my stream just got taken down. Thanks, Dan.
Man. That's what I do. I fuck shit up.
Hey man, at least he's not here to play some copyrighted music and get your streaming rights taken away.
Right,
man.
Yeah. Charlie XPX. I was down for 90 days.
Were you really?
Yeah. But to be fair, you did some really awesome Mail-In After Midnight videos during that time. So
yeah, no, Mail-In After Midnight wouldn't have existed if that didn't happen.
Yeah. So
I had no choice but to start doing video uploads.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's a lot of that Portatio in this image.
Oh yeah, for
Definitely.
sure. Oh, speaking of Mike Mignola, here's a classic. Hold on.
Look at his Deltoid, man. That's all that dude's all.
Right.
Deltoid.
He does a lot of shoulder work.
Mm-hmm.
He's got like 64 heads.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Like, what weight do I have to do to get that many striations in my shoulder, right?
15 pounds 100 times. And then like 30 cycles of that. I think
you have to be the size of Jay Cutler when he was Mr. Olympia and have the body fat of 1.
Yeah. Okay. I like food and whiskey a bit too much, so I don't know if I'll be getting there quite then. Yeah.
Food and whiskey is what it's about. Yo, check this out. Let's go from hyper detailed to hyper simple.
That's not Platt.
No, it's Mignola, man.
I know.
Wow. I don't know if I've ever actually seen Mignola do any Marvel characters. Like it's always been like DC.
Man. He started over at Marvel. He was doing whole
X-Force for Rob.
Oh, guys, I found it. I found some other stuff. This is some of what I was looking for. Let me grab it. There we go. Where did all this stuff is so unorganized. All right. So these are what Stephen Platt's layouts look like. So these are layouts from Prophet number 2.
Wow.
Here is the layout for a cover of Prophet.
Ooh, whatever that little sketch is down at the bottom.
Isn't that
Right?
cool?
That's dope.
Isn't that cool? And
That's
look at
like
this. The
Biz.
following people need to reshoot their photos for the tour book. This was who were all in the studio at the time. Look at those names.
Everyone had to reshoot their photo.
Yeah, well, we weren't pretty. Let's just put it that way. We got your photo back, and it's just not working.
You broke the camera. I'm sorry.
I have the fight with him and Crypt right here, or that's with Kirby. What else?
Wow.
What else is in here? Oh, this is some more of him and Kirby. Again, these are his layouts that he would do, and we had a guy in the studio that would basically transfer the stuff. Oh, here you go. This is a classic. Look at that. Anybody?
Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh, wow.
How long was he spending on these layouts?
These went fast. He would lay out a book in like 3 or 4 days.
Show that again. Show that one again. Look how simple that looks with all that shit.
Yeah. And this is from
and then you have this. This is what it turns into.
There it is. There it is. Look at that. We can side by side that bitch. Look at that. That's cool. I'm glad you have that.
Wow.
Yeah, big diff.
Yeah.
Now look at the size of the page that it's at right now. Look at the contrast between light and dark and the balance of that 2-page spread. Because you've got like the dark in the center there, and you've got dark in the bottom. I guess that's the bottom left corner. It's just looking at it from this size, it looks very balanced as a 2-page spread, just as a piece of artwork by itself, value-wise.
And you'll notice, I don't think he really planned out his entire issue, because these are odd. It's 21 and 22 instead of 22 and 23.
Ads.
Yeah.
It was ads. I think we had, if I remember correctly, we knew where editorial and ads were going to go.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was just, I'm going to do a double-page spread here. Someone put an ad somewhere, so like I have the odd page.
You could do it that way too, but I know Eric Stevenson was really on top of his shit when it came to editorial.
Zoom in on this.
God damn.
Found it. After all of that bullshit, I fucking found it. There
The Apocalypse page.
Yeah.
Let me come to
Oh, wow.
you real quick.
This is the one that when Platt saw it, he lost his shit.
Oh, yeah.
That looks better without color.
Yeah, see the bounce lighting on the legs.
Yeah.
And this is our buddy Art Taber. Art Taber inked this.
Hell yeah.
Look at that. Pure fucking sweetness, man.
Art Taber gave birth to Stephen Platt.
Art Taber opened up his gape and
That wasn't Platt. That was Portatio.
Yeah.
That
we like think it. We like
You
we,
completely missed what I said, Donald.
I think Art Taber was the wet nurse, the midwife.
Oh, I never even noticed this. It's got a little paste up here in these
Which
panels.
bit? Oh yeah. That was one of his storytelling techniques. He did that in Prophet a few times too. Like you'd see a guy walking, and then you'd see him get disappeared, and like a cigarette spinning, like he got pulled down, and the backgrounds were usually statted out.
Okay.
Be well, Tank Ferret.
Right there. Now they just copy paste that shit in Photoshop.
That's right, man.
Right.
Magic.
Oh my
Get all those fucking bullets.
Bullets and arrows.
Uh-huh.
Shit, I didn't even think about that. I need to give somebody some bow and arrow shit. I'm gonna give that to Rascal, I think.
There you go. Is Rascal still gonna have his swords?
He has a bow staff right now.
Okay.
Yeah. But you have to remember his whole thing, his whole outfit, everything could be anything it wants to be.
Right.
So if he pulls a sword out and suddenly it becomes a gun, it's because Rob Liefeld drew it.
And it has to specifically be a 90s style gun.
Yeah,
you know,
and if his hand is like this, he's like freeze, and then he puts it down and he's like freeze.
How are you and John not blocked by Liefeld yet?
Oh, because Rob and I are homies, man. I've known Rob since I was 16. We had our ups and downs. He and I did not talk for 15 years. And I basically blocked him out of all of existence for about 15 years. But then he came and he apologized, and I said, apology accepted. In fact, the first time I ever heard John Malin's name was the day Rob and I first talked, and he was talking about trouble in comics. And this was, I don't know, was that 2014 when all that craziness was going on with you, John?
2000, right around election year, 2016 to
16. Okay.
16 to 18. 18 was when I did. I think it was 18 when I did Jawbreaker. So
okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but I remember he's like, "Have you ever heard of this guy?" I'm like, "No, dude. I was out of comics for 17 years, right? Like, and from 2002 to like 2015, I didn't know anybody or anything. So there's like a big giant hole in comics for me. So like when I hear certain people's names, sometimes I go, I don't know who that is, and then I have to check them out. But anyway, no, Rob and I are patched up, and I don't think he'll block me because I don't say anything. And like obviously the small feet, the no feet, the inconsistency in continuity, these are all tropes as far as, he's heard those jokes so many times that I think he's got protective skin when it comes to that.
He seems to have a good attitude about it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Rob's been getting shit from everybody forever in the comics industry. So, I mean, he's got to be used to it by now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
he blocked me with a quickness, probably around 2018. And he unblocked me since, but that was because Andrew Huerta said, "Why are you blocking John?"
Right.
And then eventually said, "Oh, I didn't know I had him blocked."
Yeah.
So, like, okay.
That could be, but I know he's I wouldn't say he is anti-Comicsgate because I wouldn't say that. He's not anti-Comicsgate, but he certainly
I don't hold any hard feelings because if I was in his shoes, I might have done the same thing. I mean, if I have a legacy and you don't need these kind of headaches.
That's exactly right.
He's very much moved beyond all this stuff.
You get it 100%.
I mean, it hurts a little bit to be blocked by him, but I'm intelligent enough to understand, strategy wise. So but I am unblocked. So
at the time, it might have just been a knee jerk reaction too.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it was a knee jerk reaction for almost all my friends in the comic book industry. So not great friends.
No, I feel you there, man. It's a recent wounds for me. Dude, the vascularity of Crypt there is so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I just recently learned how to do that.
This is where Huerta and I get our love for drawing veins.
And he got that from Simon, from all the Lobo stuff.
Biz is like the king of like vascularity on muscles. It's just ridiculous.
That's the thing. It's like everybody's got their ingredients. I know that little light coming through
that's my favorite part of this whole image.
The hood.
Yeah.
It's like diffused lighting. It's a shadow with light poking through it. It's so good.
Yeah. Look at the moon. The moon behind him.
There's some Toddisms here with smoke.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Is that Photoshop or Painter? What is that?
This is Clip Studio.
Oh, Clip. Okay. Yeah.
Wow, that looks a lot like Photoshop.
Yeah.
It's basically if Photoshop was written for making comics.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of transfer as far as
it used to be very stripped down compared to Photoshop, but with each new edition, it gets more and more like Photoshop.
Right.
What do you guys think of Manga Studio? I've toyed around with that as well.
Yeah, that's what this is. This is the this is right now final version of Eclipse Studio, but there'll be another one along the way.
It used to be that Clip Studio was the one you downloaded and Manga Studio was the one you bought, but then they just They just got rid of the term Manga Studio and they combined it into Clip Studio Paint, which is a dumb fucking term. They should have left it as Manga Studio because it's for drawing comics.
Yeah, I love
Manga.
Procreate, man. That's the one I use. I pencil everything in Procreate. I do all my finishing with actual ink. But I mess with Clip. I even bought a year subscription of it for my iPad. I have the desktop version, and I don't like the inking tools because they sweeten things, and when something's sweetened, it tends to be generic. Do you know what I mean? Like if everybody's having the same sweetener, it's kind of pulling it towards a commonality. So you're going to lose what makes your stuff distinctive. So I feel like doing it analog, you're going to get more of that humanizing stuff. I guess in music, the term would be quantizing, right? It quantizes your line. It makes it more perfect. And I like flaws.
Kind of smooths out all the edges, you know?
Yeah.
The edges and the imperfections are what make it style. Yeah.
You can get tools that have a roughness built into them.
I'm not talking about edge. I'm talking like if I throw a line, sometimes my curve, when I do it with a nib, is like slightly off and it gives it a real organic shape. And if I throw a line in Clip, it will sort of a move and make the edge a little more vectory. I don't know. I'd rather have.
That might be because you're working in vector layers. I work in a layer and it doesn't do that for me.
Yeah, Yaki knows what I'm talking about. He says I can spot digital inks easily. Yeah, I take the Pepsi
that a lot. A lot of people see my stuff and they think it's hand drawn.
Well, it is hand drawn.
There's a difference because you can rely on the tools, like you can rely on curve adjustments and stuff like that, or you can just draw. And that's what I pull this stuff out the box, pretty much. I use a G pen and that's about it. So, a circle tool, but everyone uses an ellipse or a compass. So
what do you do about originals though?
Nothing. Don't worry about them.
You don't even add those in your campaign or anything like that?
Nope.
That's
if I really wanted to, I could do like covers, like hand drawn. Like that's something I've considered doing, but I'm not really interested in doing originals.
Man, I need that artifact. That I think that's my old school nature, man. Like when you go and you see, and again, this is being old school, but like when I go to a Comic-Con and I see a Frank Miller Daredevil cover and I'm holding it and I'm going, this was on Frank Miller's desk. And like, fuck, I can't. It's like an artifact. You can't believe you're holding it. You know what I mean?
You smell it.
I'll huff the shit out of it. I'll fucking chip a bit off and sprinkle it into a blunt.
Scrape some of that.
Look, I appreciate original art as much as anybody else, but for me, the entire thing is just like, look, I can draw traditionally, then I'll end up going into Photoshop or now Clip Studio Paint. And what I'll do is, you got your quats?
Yes, I did. I'm listening, but I'm quatting.
I haven't got mine yet. But I'll end up tweaking things around. But what happens is I'll get a little OCD and I'll end up doing so many changes, and I'll be like, well, now I'm kind of embarrassed to sell this original art piece because people are going to see all my fuck ups. So for me, it's just a lot better to do it all digital because I can just fix everything as much as I want and get it right in the ballpark and say save, done.
Right. To each their own, man. That's the thing. That's the thing.
Do you think, John, if you were doing more traditional artwork, you would have less to fix at the end because you'd know that you wouldn't be able to fix it at the end?
I don't know. I would have to get like real tight in pencils, and what I would probably do if I was doing a serious attempt is I would probably just lay everything out or rough everything out digitally, then print the blue line and go from there to minimize all my fuck ups. So
it seems to be a good workflow. I mean, that's what you do, Dan, right? You draw it out digitally and then you print it out and then you ink it traditionally.
No, I don't do that at all. No,
that's what I do.
Dan does. Yeah. No, you're 100% digital, right, John?
Yep.
Yeah.
I only do that for pages if I sell like an original page on a perk. I'll do with pencils and in Clip Studio, tighten them up, and then I'll print it out on the board in blue line exactly how I want it, how I would do it in digital, so that I know the lines the way I want them, and I just kind of build up those lines as I'm inking on paper to make it look like I would have drawn it.
Yeah. Do you use markers? Or you use dip pens? You use quills?
I use microns and what the fuck is this thing? It's like a Tombow pencil or something. ZBrush.
Damn,
it is
tearing shit apart.
Something in Japanese that I don't fucking know.
Oh, okay.
I got it off of.
Kind of looks like those Pentels that Dan was telling me about. The what is they Fuede Touch or something like that?
Oh yeah.
It's all in Japanese. I have no idea
Yeah.
what it's called.
Just as long as the ink doesn't smear and it doesn't fade over time, right?
Well, that's the thing, man. That you look at the old like Jim Lee stuff, and they were filling that shit in with Sharpie, and those originals do not age well.
No, they get all
do not.
They get brown and green, and
yeah.
I never noticed this before. You can see he was gonna give him some big old bat wings here.
Yeah. I mean, you got to do something to support those giant ass shoulders, man.
Those big fucking arms,
right?
Like big old gorilla arms.
Like he literally does shoulder presses with like VW bugs, man.
And there it is,
man. Like a lot of the image guys, McFarlane, Liefeld, maybe Jim Lee. You know, I look at these more exaggerated styles, and for me, that's like the same appeal that I think that most people find with a manga. It's that it's just far enough removed from reality that it makes it fun and interesting.
It's got style, man. It's got character.
Yeah, you can go through this stuff and just start picking it apart, but it doesn't matter. It's what the fan sees how they feel when they see it. It's that energy, that rawness.
That's exactly right. It's all about the feeling.
He's got the tallest king in the world.
Right? I can test this is part of the reason why 90s comics sold as well as they did.
I'm on a stream, Lovey.
You know?
Jesus Christ.
It's like a visit but from kids' time.
Out there.
But yeah, I feel like this is the reason why 90s comics sold so well. I mean, look at this. This is visually arresting. You know, all that tech, the design, you know, the pyramid design or whatever, and then that big dude and the circle around him. Like that's visually arresting. Yeah. It's
visually arousing.
Arousing.
Sure. That too. You know?
I'm doing some corrections on this coin right now.
Does that make real coins?
We are, but we're in the middle of a stream, my dear.
This sold for $850 to somebody.
Holy hell!
Is this by yourself?
No, buddy, I'm actually on right now. You're not seeing that.
See, if I drew that and if I sold it for $850, I'd say, God, I never should have sold it.
You'll see, bud.
Well, I mean, your originals are so rare. I can see why. You'd probably have to sell it for a lot more, John.
No. If I was Stephen Platt and I sold this for $850, I'd cry. I'd be like,
seriously. He's like getting what, 40 grand an issue was the rumor?
No,
I think the rumor was 30.
More than that?
Are you talking about profit?
Damn.
Yeah.
It was 90, guys.
90 grand an issue?
Yes.
And he sold this fucking cover for $850?
Hold on a second. I'm sending an email, so I'm not seeing you guys. Hold on a second.
Send an email to him and tell him I'm going to slap his mama.
Yeah, I heard it was 30,000.
No, it was 90. It was 90.
He offered that much money.
It was 90, but that went for $850 in $1994. So that's like the equivalent of like $2,000 now.
Still.
True.
He should have charged $4,000 for this cover with as much as he was making to draw profit. That's how popular. He did not know his popularity, did he?
Oh, he did.
Then he did not value his own art. It's like $850. Damn.
How long do we know how long this page this cover took him?
Don't know.
Probably a
Like
week.
what? Yeah, I mean,
What was his average time for page?
It seemed like a week.
3 days, 4 days.
As often as a book came out.
Yeah, it was. It really was. It did take a lot of time. Sometimes as long as a week to do a page. On average, they were about 3 days. You guys are loud. Get out of here.
It was very worth it.
Yeah. Well, that's how I feel, man. And like I think about it, like how things would be. Someone liked in all StreamYard so we can see him. Oh yeah, you know what? Donald, you could take the Live with StreamYard banner off.
I don't want to.
Oh, okay. You want to look like a duck.
Are you hiding behind the StreamYard banner? Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Hold on a second, guys.
Nobody wants to see me. Everybody's looking at the art. Platt did. I'm not. Tyler wants to know. Platt did 4 or 5 issues of Prophet. Nope, he did more than that. He did 5 issues from the first volume miniseries. He did issue 5 through 10.
5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Then 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the volume 2.
Yeah. There were 2 volumes. Most people don't remember the second volume where Prophet was like in space and shit.
Yes.
Huh. No, I don't remember that.
Prophet in space.
So does he do any kind of artwork that doesn't revolve around doing storyboards? Because I would love to see what his stuff looks like now, were he to do something like this.
I've seen what it looks like pretty recently. It looks like a lot like David Finch now.
I saw a piece. He showed me a piece last night of an upcoming something for a company that of the big 2 of a big character. And I looked at it, and it reminded me of a few things, but it's nice. It's very nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
But I still prefer his old stuff. I'm that asshole. I liked your old album better.
You got sold out at this certain album, man. Come on. Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm not.
He never sold out. Just he's one of those guys. It's weird because he's sort of a highbrow intelligence type guy. Like he's very into I don't know, like higher learning and being a better artist. So he's trying to dial in more towards reality, where his earlier stuff seemed to be dialing more towards what's cool, and what's cool doesn't necessarily look right. And I'm of the mind, and I've always said this, and it's one of my mantras, that comic books are comic books, and what makes a comic is unique to comics. And if you try to dial that over towards reality, you're actually pulling further away from what a comic book should be. Obviously, you want to put people into a world, but you want that world to be badass, and you want to use all of the tools available to you, like exaggeration, you know? Like
you become technically sound, but through that you become boring.
Beep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's exactly.
I feel like Travis Charest walks that line really finely. Like he does some really, realistic looking, amazing art, but it's always fluid and fun.
Yeah.
Especially his Wildcat stuff that he did with Joe Casey. Like that shit just blew me away when I was younger. Like I couldn't believe like the energy in the pages, but yet still, I don't know, felt almost like realistic.
He had great design. I don't know. He wasn't Kirby, but he could probably
nobody is.
Probably shit out of a hose though.
Here's some of
you're talking about Travis.
Yeah, Travis.
Yeah, we had a thing that we thought about him, that like he could draw basically like the most idyllic version of everything. Like if he drew a Cadillac, it was always sort of real pimpy. But John's right. You'd be like, man, those rims are dope. Like it's always like something that you go, or the thing hanging from the mirror. God damn, those fuzzy dice look tight. Like it's a weird thing about Travis's stuff. I don't know.
Yeah,
this is one of those pieces.
Very pleasing to the eye.
Yeah,
Mhm.
this is one of the pieces that Splat did that there's a couple of glaring problems that Batman's head being so small and sort of the escalated version of the left-facing Batman's right shoulder, but on our left, it seems too big.
A little disjointed.
Yeah. Other than that, it's really gorgeous.
This is a current-ish piece. This is like 1819. This is recent.
Cool.
I've never seen that one.
Yeah.
I can't say I love it.
If I didn't know that was Splat and I didn't see his signature next to it, I probably wouldn't tag that as Splat.
Exactly.
It almost has like a Frank Miller quality to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting from it, especially like the square fist.
You look at these lines up here, like old school, that would have been done with a ruler,
right?
And
there would have been 1,000 of them.
Yeah, they're jaggedy right here. It's like,
yeah,
he's trying to do it quick, and he wasn't using any rules or anything. I think this was probably drawn small, maybe on 8.5 by 11 paper. Just with how like little detail there is and how squiggly some of the lines are. Like, look at this leg.
That's good.
I got a question for you guys. If you guys had challenge coins made, would you prefer an antiqued brass that is plated, or an antique silver that is plated brass, or solid brass?
Silver.
What?
If you had a challenge
coin,
it's a coin, right? So you can have your graveyard shift logo on one side and your signature on the other. And it's a challenge. Like, look up challenge coins, man. They're cool. It's like a coin you keep in your pocket, and if another buddy's a fan and he's got one, you guys check each other, and if the other one doesn't have it, they have to buy the other one a drink. It's a fun thing. Yeah. What do you like better, like solid brass or silver, like a silver plated brass?
I'm kind of more of like the solid brass, man. That way that you don't have to worry about plating coming off, and it is what it is, And brass is cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna get mock-ups done. There we
go.
The duck. Stephen Platt half-assed that cover. I don't think he half-assed it. I think that he drew it at like actual size.
That could be the case. A lot of guys were doing that. When Joe Mad was doing Inhuman, all of those pages were drawn actual size.
Yeah, Savage Wolverine too.
Yeah, and when I did the first issue of He-Man, I did those at actual size. What's up, Andino?
Solid brass balls, yeah. Best way to
would that just be for speed, Dan? Is that the idea?
I thought it would be, but it ended up making my hand hurt because I still draw detailed and small, and I ended up really cramping up.
Holy hell.
Isn't that beautiful?
Good Lord. Again, the balance of the dark and the light.
That's called Notan.
Is that what that's called? Okay.
Notan. Yeah, I have a whole if you go on Pinterest, if you're on Pinterest, I have a whole board that's dedicated to Notan. Like, I think the very best guy, there are two guys that are really good at it. There's Jorge Zafino. He's really good at it. And then there's a guy named Albert Breccia.
Oh, yeah. Heard that name before, yeah.
Breccia is really good at it. And like, obviously, guys like Mignola are good too. But Breccia and Zafino are like, oh, God. Every time I see him, I get kind of blown away. And someone like...
stupid amounts of cross-hatching, too.
Yeah.
Makes it worse.
Makes it worse.
Makes it worse, but they're that good. Like, I just want to stab them in the hand with a Sharpie to make them, at least give other people a chance.
Just take all the awesome. Man, I feel that way whenever I look at something Rob Willis has posted. You know, like some of the Shinobi Sasquatch. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
He gave me a page. When I saw him in Miami.
Nice.
If you think they look good, like online, when you see them in person, you go, oh, fuck.
I'm going to use this page to slice your throat now.
Yeah, exactly. So good. And he's just beginning too, man. He's just starting.
And if you go back, he got that good in less than a year's time.
That's what happens when you focus.
Like, he's leveled up 5 years in the span of 1 year.
Yeah.
He's not that fast. You would think that's from like drawing a page a day. Someone would get to his level in like 5 years. I was waiting to watch him, see, like, I want to see where this guy's going to be in like a couple of years.
Yeah.
Less than a year later, it's like, holy crap, what happened to this guy?
He went beast mode, dude. He's smart. He eats right. He lives right. He works right. He's doing it.
Fuck his art. Fuck his abs.
Fuck his abs. You could use your tears as lube.
Fit ass.
Awesome. You've got abs under there somewhere too, man. You just got.
I have 3 kegs.
Hey,
1, 2, 3.
Just building a shed for my tool.
I've built that shed.
I'm working on downsizing my keg.
That's what I'm doing too.
Yeah.
But look, you know what, guys? As much as we love this piece, panel 2, that profile, that face, that's a little bit wonky. You know?
Janky, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like Bad Wills.
Faces were not his expertise.
Well, his upper teeth are actually coming inward.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, his lower jaw is sticking out a little bit too much. It's sticking out further than the nose.
Look, let's not start getting into the anatomy, okay? Because what's up with this fucking neck?
It's awesome.
That's Portasio neck right there.
Yeah, there's
his mama was an ostrich, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wilson used to do that all the time. He might still do it. I don't know.
It's the only thing on this page that doesn't have any texture on it.
Right there. Yeah.
It always bugs the shit out of me. Always. It's like everything else has texture. When you come down here, it's got a little bit, nothing. Like, I always wanted to know, why did he do that? Why did he choose that?
Balance, man. Got lines everywhere else. Got to have at least one spot where there's nothing.
Oh, the guy's hat. It's his
hat.
Yeah. It's one of those rice paddy hats or whatever. Mm-hmm.
It's a graphic shape, dude. Like if you squint your eyes, that needed to not be textured.
It's something to point you over to this panel. Is what it is.
Yeah.
And these
that too.
Okay.
I mean, the shadows point you that way too.
Earlier today I had the kumquat and I had cut it into 4s and I ate out the centers like oranges. That was the way to go. And I talked to Ethan today and he said he got his quats and he said he's just popping them, eating them whole. That there's like yeah, he got his too.
No, he's eating them whole with the skin?
Yes. And he said there's a sweetness to the skin. So I just ate 2 like that. Man, my stomach hurts now.
People are telling him they're like peaches. You're supposed to eat them with the skin.
No, man. No, what you need to do is just cut it into quarters and bite the little bits out and toss the peels. They taste like Sour Patch Kids had sex with a tangerine. But my daughter's still in here. I'm sorry. I just know this, when it comes to when we have drawn and quartered, I will not eat 2 pounds of these. I think I would be in a lot of pain.
I'm gonna have a few.
I
love this.
Gotta take this food stuff to the extreme.
Oh, guys, Rob Willis is going to be on Crowdfunding Comics in a half hour.
That's awesome.
Yeah, not to detract from this awesome stream, but we were just talking about Rob.
Yeah.
Got to watch that month.
They never invite me on there. It's odd.
Oh, dude, I'm sure they would.
Drop Billy a line, man. Billy's good people. So it's nice.
I've got nothing to promote at this time.
It doesn't matter. Rob doesn't have anything to promote either. It's just getting in there and talking comics, man.
I'll wait till I got something to promote.
Yeah.
Look, there's no depth in this hat. Just give me a shadow, please.
Why don't you just go sketch one in there, bro?
Oops. It works though when he does it.
Well, the thing is, it's computer age, though. I mean, you can let a colorist go in there and do that stuff. Sometimes you want to trust your colorist to help you the fuck out.
Well, you always want to trust your colorist, man. That's it's a team. You know, you got to think of it as like a full on team.
Sharpie.
Yeah, I fucking hate Sharpies so much.
Ages so poorly.
It does. Like, if you guys do you guys get the IDW John Byrne X-Men?
No, that huge book with like his original pages.
Yeah, when you look at some of the Terry Austin stuff, you can tell when it was we got to get this done page because it's done in marker, and it's like this faded brownish red color where everything else is like dark black. You know, you can tell he used India ink, and then
right.
But yeah, all this stuff you can tell where Steven changed up his tools.
Did that bother you, Donald, where that one hat had the shading on it?
Huh? Yeah, this one has shading in it.
What disturbs you more, the lack of shading on that hat or pineapple pizza, Donald?
I hate pineapple pizza more, but the shading on that hat is just.
Buddy, what's wrong with you?
It's a thing.
But like leaving the lens on that flashlight on his chest, nice and open, like that's using a good shape there. Nice little spot white, if you will.
Yeah.
Well, it draws the eye to him.
Like we were talking about earlier with storytelling and dubstep, a lot of times you want to do that with repeated patterns too. If there's chaos, and then stillness, it breaks up the flow enough that your brain registers it as interesting. You know, when it's repeated pattern, it just goes and it moves on.
And he did this shit with microns.
Microns. Pigma microns, like 1s and 2s.
He had to be using like a 005 on some of these lines.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What are we doing? Like, look at these flames. That's got to be like a 01 or 005.
Yeah.
Shit.
And this is one of the things I'm so happy about for digital is those speed lines down there. In Procreate, you could set a vanishing point and have assisted drawing so you can throw the lines to the vanishing point. When you got to do them analog like this, God.
Ruler. Oh, God.
Ruler. Nudge,
that's what I'm saying.
Nudge.
Back in the day, he would have used a ruler, but then you see that Batman Superman cover, and he definitely wasn't there. A ruler for each line. Move, move, move.
I'm talking about time consuming. Goddamn. But it looks so good.
Yeah. And this is why his pages took forever.
If everybody was putting this much time and effort into all their work throughout the industry would be on fire.
Be a lot healthier.
John, I can't wait for you to see my double pager, bro.
Nice. Yeah.
This right here, this is A+ level work that he brought.
Yeah.
It took him a
5
while.
is the best.
It took him a while, but it was worth it. This shit was worth it. This is what I would love to see at Marvel. Give people lead time to do a story.
Right? Like I wish. Oh wow, what is that?
It's a Prophet number 5 ash can.
Just a black and white version.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh,
see?
Let me embiggen you.
Embiggen, I like that. Engorge your screen with my presence.
Fill us, jam.
I'm gonna fill your eyeballs with my visuals. Isn't that great?
Damn.
Well, yeah, this was the deal, and it had some of the sketches. Look at there's the sketch from the sketchbook from earlier.
Yeah.
What is that on the other
Those
page?
two sketches were definitely very Wills inspired.
Oh, dang.
No.
Oh, that one cover with Prophet with his arms out like Jesus Christ. That inspired me to do Tech Jacket pinup from way back in the day, and like one of the early issues is Kirkman, EJ Snoop. Why are we looking at Dan's butt?
Because it's nice. Works out.
Brian the Observer said, if John had something to promote, he wouldn't watch my low-tech video game streams. That's correct. I was watching Brian play RPG video game, which, guys, I don't... Show me killing people. I'm bored. I'm like reading text in an RPG game.
You guys want to see a magic trick?
Play some God of War, John. You'll enjoy that.
Here's a magic trick. Are you ready?
Biz.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which one came first?
This one did.
Now, if you got Tech Jacket, you can pull that up too.
Lobo's back.
I still like Steve's better though.
Yeah.
It's the only time where I was just like, well, I got to see yours, John. I might do it again. But the homage is better.
Mm-hmm.
Splat's a little bit tighter than Bisley usually works.
Oh yeah, and more lines. Definitely more lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Are you going to be listening a little bit?
I am. I'll be out there in a few minutes. Okay, we're gonna.
Aww, babies.
All right.
Michael Green said he had a letter printed in one of the Tech Jackets.
That's awesome.
Thank you. I love you.
Yeah, you got to get in there tight with pens, man. Like I see brushes coming out, and like especially on Splat, he's so slick. When I see a brush, I'm just like, shit, who the fuck else was doing a whole bunch of? Oh, like Elliot Fernandez. He did a cover from Magic Cop, and I think he finally broke out pens on that. But like whenever he does the brush, it's like okay. But when he gets doing some pen work, man, all of a sudden Elliot, like his art like levels up like on that slickness level.
Oh yeah,
it's all about the tightness.
This is my favorite Platt cover. This is also my favorite Platt issue, where he's fighting Bloodstrike.
Oh, you like the spearing back and forth?
Yeah, of all the fucking detail, this book is just so sloppy and gritty.
Yeah,
I love how he's hunched over here, just showing out a mask. This lat is fucking ridiculous.
Is Bloodstrike like reflected in the water?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? When I first got this, I thought he was dead floating in the water. And it was like 2 years ago where I'm looking at this, rereading it, going, that's a fucking reflection. He's supposed to be alive.
What, you thought he was screaming dead?
I thought he was dead, floating in the water, floating in the blood water. And for the longest time, I was like, man, I wish you would have put like some ripples around this guy's arm to show that he's like floating.
Well, yeah, I guess you could have distorted the actual image a little bit. Zigzag the line art.
Yeah,
that probably would have helped. But
how do we know that he's not like showering upon John Prophet?
Oh, that's like his piss.
Yeah,
could be.
I mean, all that liquid coming down, he could be suspended from the ceiling, being drip dried, as they say.
That's right.
Just look at all that
gorgeous
vein work.
Enjoy my Mountain Dew, friend.
Cross hatching.
He is like all shoulders and arms in that picture. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And some of the pages from it.
What was the last thing that Platt did in the comics industry before he moved on to storyboards?
No. He had Soul Saga. He'd already done boards, and then he did some Soul Saga.
Oh, okay.
It was roughly around the same time. So Soul Saga. I mean, I guess that's the last comic he did. So yeah, you're right. Because there were some covers. There was like a Death Blow cover. And there was a couple other things, but I think you're probably right.
He did a one-shot, a Cable Wolverine one-shot.
That was terrible.
Oh, I remember getting that, actually.
Yeah.
I got it from one of those catalogs that they used to send out that had like all the different things, like anotheruniverse.com or something like that.
Yeah.
I ordered that specifically because of Splat.
Here's a page from it. The art looks gorgeous. He's inked by Bat. Bat is fucking sexy over Steven.
I do like Bat's inks.
Yeah, Bat's great. Those guys, Bat, Weems, those guys were amazing.
In just a couple minutes.
Okay, I'm going to say I love you.
Is the door closed?
I hear a kitty cat.
Yeah, we gotta go tuck the kids in. My little boy is crying.
Aw,
He wants to get in here because my daughter just came in to sit next to me.
yeah,
She's gonna stay up for a little bit and have a snack.
that's how you do it.
You want to say hi? Okay.
Hi.
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 How are you?
We're good. How are you?
Good.
You want to see my little girl?
Bye.
My little girl's right here. See the little girl right there?
I'm not here.
You guys are almost wearing the same color.
Oh yeah.
Say hi to Dan's daughter.
Hi.
Yeah. Here, you want to say
This is
hi?
one of my little girls.
Hi.
She said hi.
How are you?
Oh,
Good. How are you?
Good.
John said good.
no.
All right.
You know?
Maybe I should turn my avatar off. It's a bad role model.
She
Kitty.
doesn't want to hear you talk, John.
What's that?
She doesn't want to hear you talk.
Oh, okay.
I said, "Do you want to hear her?" She said, "No."
No, I don't need any coaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was my.
Sure.
I just fucking love this part.
I lost the point.
I lost the point recursing.
Oh, you guys do a point system?
The part.
5 points and I lose my phone for the day.
Oh. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. I wish I could do that in my house.
See, now that page looks a lot more like Bisley than any of the other stuff we've looked at so far. I think
Yeah,
it could just be that the hair, and the energy.
the splatter.
Yeah.
He was checking out some Jay Lee Hellshock that day.
Yeah,
Oh,
I can see that.
Man, Hellshock is great. I love that book. I got both of those in a 50-cent bin.
My favorite Jay Lee job was the Youngblood Strike Files that he did.
Oh yeah, really nice stuff.
Those had so much good energy. I felt like Hellshock had good moments, but it was like as a whole didn't hit me the same way.
Yeah, the art. Well,
I just
that
love how moody it was.
also the Wildcat trilogy. Is that what it was called?
Yes,
Yeah,
Yeah.
really great era for Jay Lee.
indeed.
Oh, yeah.
Rabbit,
You have a gold Sharpie.
I do have a gold. What do I need that for? And that's copper.
I love what he did right here with this
I was just saying.
fading the leg with the white out.
That is gold.
What's wrong with you, Donald?
What?
Where do you want to start?
Do you know what that trick is? You want to know what that trick is?
He's using white paint.
Yeah, but Jim Lee taught us this technique one time when he visited the studio. You take whiteout and you put it either on your fingertip or your thumb, and you spot it out, and it ends up fading like from this beginning to end because it starts to run out of ink. So you can get this almost like a fog or smoke-like effect.
That's cool. I just add another layer and I do white and then I kind of do a gradient erase on it.
Yeah, digitals.
Yeah.
Whoa, what is that?
This is from Soul Saga.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't remember that page at all. That's stunning. What issue is that?
Issue 6, which did not come out in America.
That's why I don't remember it.
Nice.
I do not like that face, Sam. I am up top though.
This one?
Yeah,
Heavy brow.
yeah, but dude's shoulder pads, man, that's where it's at. Look at those shoulder pads.
Yeah, that's like Travis Ray level spot blacking and
Yeah, see, I need
little
more of that in
circles
my
on the
work.
insides.
I need more of that in my work for sure. Where did you grab this? Is this off of Pinterest or something, Donald?
No, I got this off of Comic Art Fans. You can see a lot of his Soul Saga work there.
Okay, I'm gonna have to grab that because I want to stare at that with one hand. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
All of those extras, man. Jeez, I love it.
Yeah, the leggings on there look
Definitely,
great.
I'm definitely stealing that technique. Holy shit, that's gorgeous.
Inked by Bat again.
All of that stuff in the knee pad.
It's either Bat or Weems. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. They kind of switched off on the series.
Yeah, man. Awesome stuff.
I remember seeing this page as an ad in something. It might have been Wizard. because I remember
Really?
that second face, the 3 panels on the side. I remember seeing that one specifically, and the circles on the dude's chest in the big splash image. I remember seeing that. Yeah.
I am pretty convinced. I would have to like ask Dave Finch this, but I'm pretty convinced when he started his Moon Knight run that he got a hold of some of these black and white pages from issue 6 of Soul Saga, because when you look at the textures here,
yeah,
I think that's one of those cases of the each beast feeding the beast. You know, it's like Steven's inspired by Finch. Finch is inspired by Steve.
So much like damage and debris done to this armor that it almost looks like the guy is wearing like coral.
Right. That's what I like about it, though, man. Holy crap!
Barnacles on his legs.
Barnacles.
The armor looks lived in. It looks fought in. It looks, worn.
It's all charade to me, man.
Looks slept in.
Charade, yeah.
It's all charade, yeah. Yeah, totally.
I think that's a new character. I'm going to put him in my book, Barney Barnacles.
Barney Barnacles.
Yeah.
I'm a lot cleaner with that.
Yeah. And then we go again with the weird off-kiltered arms. That Cable seems to have the same problem that Batman had, where this shoulder is slightly bigger and junted a little bit.
Mm. I don't know. It looks like he's got more symmetry going on this time than the that other one that we're looking at.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it looks cool. I like it. Like I like the whole Cable figure there. The face in panel 1, I'm not digging. Like the chin is in a different time zone.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Viva Mexico, bro.
Yeah, the low light is
but that inset on 3, man, that face there looks fucking awesome.
Yeah. And that smoke. That smoke is billoway.
It's even got a little bit of Kirby Crackle in the back there.
Yeah. That's the only time that you say yes to Crackle.
Right.
It's good stuff. Very good stuff. But that looks like Sharpie was involved. I see the browning. Don't skimp. Word pro tip to y'all artists out there: if you want your artifacts to exist for a long time, spot your blacks with archival quality India ink. Do not use a Sharpie.
All right, so what's going on in that face right there? The brow is shooting inward, like there's no brain up top. Is that his ear?
That's his ear.
That ear is completely jacked.
That's his ear. It's not even where it should be. Like this part right here.
Yeah, it should be up about it should be up another half inch.
Yeah. Hey, maybe it was like a fixed thing. You know, he is a cyborg, and the shit fell down. He's like, fucking leave it.
The ear just kind of melted and slid down his face. Yeah,
it's cool. I'm used to it now. It's part of my personality.
Makes wearing sunglasses a lot easier.
The shadows here with the nose. The problem is the shadows here. They kind of go straight up, and they don't curve with the forehead to give it more, more.
Well, that forehead has way too much curve. If you go on that left side, that thing should be almost straight up at that point.
But it would work if he had given it, if he had given those shadows a little more curve to go with the form.
He's just got a jacked up nose. That's all I'm seeing right there. Jacked up nose and a jacked up forehead.
Well, I mean, he's probably been hit with some heavy metal objects quite a bit, so that might account for it.
Stop making excuses. We know Steven fell off.
Hey, John, how many kids do you have?
0.
Really? Because that sounded full dad on, dude. You were like pure dad. Stop making excuses. I'm like, shit, champion. Come over to my house and tell my kid. Amazing. All of a sudden, I want no excuses in my life. No excuses in my life. Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome. I definitely got panels that are jacked up myself. Don't think I'm immune. So
yeah, they happen.
Everybody has some fucked up artwork in their life.
I mean, you gotta get the bad out there so you have room for the good, right?
Yeah. Amen.
But it's inspiring, man, seeing stuff like that, like even with my Project Thunder, I'm like, what?
I'm trying to end the stream so people can go look at Rob Willis's abs.
Oh,
That's in 6 minutes, man. That's on crowdfunding comics. If you guys aren't in the know over here in the chat, you guys.
Mr. Tucci and Niles.
Yeah.
Niles something or other.
Nile. It's just Nile.
Oh, it's just Nile. Okay.
Yeah, like the river.
Nile.
Links in the description. Go check out his Evil Ernie, Red Sonja, Black Flag variant cover.
Oh, thanks, man.
Version of that, and you can sign up for his Black Flag page on Indiegogo.
That's right.
Pineapple Perception.
Yeah, that's we're going live at 12 noon on Saturday. The Dynamite campaign with the Red Sonja and Evil Ernie that ends on Friday. I've been told they're not putting them in demand. So when it's over, it's over. So if you're going to get them, if you're going to get the shirt or any of the sketch covers or any of the covers in general, Friday is the cutoff. So if go get them if you can.
They brought the fucking laundry in here.
I thought that was a bathtub at first. I was like, yo, what's happening?
He streams from his bathroom, just.
My wife keeps her clothes in here so that when she actually went to work at an office for her job, she put it
Can
in
we
here.
wrap this up, Donald?
I'll kick you.
God,
I haven't left my house in almost a month. You kicked the coach. Holy shit. Oh, there he is. Oh, shit. I was like, God damn.
Kick John. All right. Thanks, everybody, for stopping by. I appreciate it.
Hey, man. Thank you for having us. It was a fun walk down memory lane. Hey, chat. Hail Comics Gate. You guys are awesome. Thanks for coming through.
Yeah, most people I've ever had watch this live stream. I hope all these fools subscribed.
Yeah, subscribe, smash the like.
Be subscribed.
Help that algorithm up.
Well, that's because I shared it out.
My man.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
That's how you do that.
I appreciate
the story of a dude named Luke and John Malin and Donald too.
Later all.
See ya.
End it, Donald. Damn.
In.
Still going. Still going. You got to hit the end broadcast twice.